HarperCollins presents Sisters Like Us by Susan Mallery. Read by Tanya Eby. Chapter 1. There wasn't a holiday on the calendar that Harper Zemanski couldn't celebrate, cook for, decorate, decoupage, create a greeting card about, or wrap in raffia. There were the biggies, birthdays, New Year's, 4th of July, but also the lesser celebrated. American Diabetes Association Alert Day, Auntie's Day, National Massage Therapy Awareness Week. Why weren't there greeting cards to honor that? Didn't everyone need a good massage? Despite a skill set that made Martha Stewart look like a slacker, Harper had never figured out a way to monetize her gift for setting a table to commemorate anything. She'd tried catering about 10 years ago, but had quickly discovered that her need to overbuy and overdeliver had meant losing money on every single job, which left her in the awkward position of trying to make a living the hard way, with 2 semesters of community college and 16 years of being a stay-at-home mom. Retail jobs and the pay that went with them hadn't been close enough to support herself and her daughter post-divorce. 3 online aptitude tests had left her even more confused. While getting her degree in biochemistry and going on to medical school sounded great, it wasn't actually a practical solution for an over 40 single mom with no money in the bank. Then an article in the local paper had provided an interesting and almost viable idea. Harper had become a virtual assistant. If there was one thing she knew, it was how to take care of the details. You didn't get good at a basket weave 4th of July cake without paying attention. 1 year after filing her business permit, Harper had 5 main clients, nearly a dozen more who used her services intermittently, and almost enough income to pay her bills. She also had her mother living in the apartment over the garage, an ex-husband dating a gorgeous blonde who was, wait for it, exactly 14 years younger than Harper because they shared a birthday, a 16-year-old daughter who had stopped speaking to her, and a client who was desperately unclear on the concept of virtual in the world of virtual assistants. "You don't have to drop off your bills every month," Harper said as she set out coffee, a plate of chocolate chip scones that she'd gotten up at 5:30 that morning to bake fresh, a bowl of sugar-glazed almonds, and sliced pears.
"And miss this?" Lucas Wheeler asked, pouring himself a mug of coffee. "If you're trying to convince me coming by isn't a good idea, then stop feeding me."
He was right, of course. There was an easy, logical solution. Stop taking care of people and they would go away, or at least be around less often. There was just one problem. When someone stopped by your home, you were supposed to take care of them. "I can't help it," she admitted, wishing it weren't the truth. "It's a disease. I'm a people-pleaser. I blame my mother."
"I'd blame her, too, if I were you."
She supposed she could take offense at Lucas's words, but he was only stating the obvious. In some ways, Harper felt as if she was part of the wrong generation. According to celebrity magazines, 50 was the new 25, which meant almost 42 should be the new, what, 11? Everyone else her age seemed so young and carefree, with modern attitudes and a far better grasp of what was in style and popular. Harper was just now getting around to listening to the soundtrack from Hamilton, and her idea of fashionable had a lot more to do with how she dressed her dining room table than herself. She was like a 1950s throwback, which might sound charming, but in real life kind of sucked. On the bright side, it really was her mother's fault.
"Speaking of your mother, where is she?"
Lucas asked. "At the senior center, preparing Easter baskets for the homeless." Because that was what women were supposed to do. Take care of people, not have actual careers that could support them and their families. I, on the other hand, will be paying your bills, designing T-shirts for Misty, working on the layout of a sales brochure, and making bunny butt cookies for my daughter." Lucas raised an eyebrow.
"You do realize that bunny butt is just a polite way of saying rabbit ass?"
Harper laughed. "Yes, but they're an Easter tradition. Becca loves them. Her father is dropping her off tomorrow afternoon, and I want the cookies waiting. Because maybe if there were bunny butt cookies, her daughter would smile and talk to her the way she used to, in actual sentences that shared bits of her life."
"You sorry you didn't go?"
Lucas asked. "To the memorial? Yes." She thought for a sec.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?